Walk in the Woods by Griffin. I'm a lumberjack by trade, and I work all over the country. Anywhere there's a job, that's where I go, but I'm never around long before it's off to the next job. These last 2 weeks I've been cutting spruce up on Route 345. This is nice country up here. There ain't many folks around, and the ones that are mind their own damn business. But now I'm headed south again, because I hear there are jobs downstate. It'll be dark soon, so I cleaned up at the motel and checked out. With cash in my pocket, I was hoping to find a roadhouse along the way and either get laid or get drunk. After a few miles, I spotted an old truck along the side of the road. Some girl had its hood up and was peering inside. And normally I would have just kept going, but this girl was really hot. She was wearing short cut-off jeans and cowboy boots with a halter top. Her rack was spilling over the top as she leaned over the engine. So I pulled my pickup to the back of her truck and walked around to see if I could help. There was a faded sign on the side that said Femcan Incorporated Fine Meats, whatever that means. Anyway, she was pretty cute up close too. I'm sure it would be fun to get her in the sack. You can't blame a guy for hoping. She looked at me with them big green eyes. I don't know what happened. It just cut out on me and I coasted in here. When I looked, I couldn't believe it. The damn thing had a carburetor. And I'd need to get the air cleaner off first. Honey, I ain't seen one of these since I was a kid. You got a screwdriver around here? Hey, thanks. Yeah, there's one in the back, just inside the door. So I walked around the back and threw up the rear door. I almost crapped myself when I seen what was inside. It was full of naked men, all with their hands chained up over their heads to the roof of the truck. And if that wasn't weird enough, they was all wearing pig masks over their eyes and nose. And sure enough, as soon as I opened the door, they all started oinking at me. When I saw why they was making that song, they all had ball gags jammed into their mouth. This was damn crazy. I turned to ask the girl what was going on. She answered by bending a tire iron over my head, and that sure put my lights out. When I woke up, I was standing there naked with the other man, wearing that pig mask and the ball gag. After that crack on the head, I was pretty dizzy. I think them chains really held me up. There were times when I zoned out till the door flew open and I was nearly blinded by the light. The girl was looking up at me with a big grin. Come on, Piggy, how about you and me taking a walk in the woods? I didn't know what she was talking about. I couldn't say nothing anyway. She climbed up into the truck and unhooked my chain so I could lower my arms. Then she gave me a kick. I tumbled out of the truck onto the ground. In case you're wondering, these boys are all sold. I gotta deliver them around for weekend barbecues. But you're free range, honey, and I got you all to myself. My spirit guide Lilith told me to do a piggy today, and that's just what I'm gonna do. She hopped out of the truck and put her foot on my neck. I was too stunned to stop her. She clipped my wrist cuffs together behind my back. Then she rolled me over and took my cock in her hand. Yeah, this piggy will do just fine. Come on, sweetie, let's go. I'm not a small man, but she dragged me to my feet with more strength than I thought she had. After closing and locking her truck, she pulled a long iron stake with cross pieces from storage underneath. Come on, Piggy, this way. It'll be dark soon. She headed into the woods and I stumbled along behind her. Between the blow to my head and falling out of the truck, I was a mess. With my hands bound behind me, balance was hard. I kind of lost track of how far we walked, but eventually she stopped at a clearing among the hardwoods. In the middle of the clearing was a long fire pit with stone pillars on each end. Set in the top of each pillar was a rusted iron half-pipe. The girl pushed me up against a tree and went to work on my cock. She licked it and stroked it until it was hard and ready. I was kind of groaning since I'd been laid in weeks. Now, Piggy, here's what I want you to do. Gather us a bunch of firewood so we can stay warm. Once we have it burning, we'll just lay here and fuck all night. Okay with you? Sounds good to me, and I got no idea what I'm doing, so she unclips my cuffs and sends me off to gather wood. There's plenty of dead wood branches around, so it didn't take long to build a roaring fire. I turn to the girl to see if we're gonna fuck now, but she slams me in the head with a large oak branch. Once again, my lights go out. This time when I wake up, I'm strapped to the iron stake while it's leaning against a tree. But now the girl is stark naked. She's rubbing her tits against my chest and whispering in my ear, I am the goddess Lana, dear Piggy, and you are mine, do you understand? Too many shots in the head have me swimming in a fog, but my gag is gone. Goddess. Yes, goddess. Lana. Yours? I'm yours, yes. She starts rubbing oil on me and get it on herself as well. With her skin gleaming in the flickering light of the fire, I think she is a goddess. When she starts working on my cock again, I start to moan. That's a good piggy. Get nice and hard for your goddess. I'm not a small man there either, and when I'm fully hard, I'm a mouthful for any girl. But she takes me in all the way to my cock room. I could feel her swallowing me as I rub against the back of her throat. When it comes, my orgasm is so intense I pass out. The last thing I remember is her face looking up at me with cum on her chin. Her eyes are flaming with lust and hunger. I'm awakened this time by a blast of heat. Somehow this girl wrestled that spit onto the stone pillars, and I was suspended over a bed of hot coals. My naked goddess is dabbing oil on my cock. Yeah, I left it on you, piggy. But I really like to cut it off and cook it separate. I got this great sauce that I make with your cum. But we're just in the woods here, so I'll roast it with the rest of you. Too bad, though. We got a nice big one, but it's hard. Oh, look, it's starting again. Sure enough, her brush is getting me hard again, but the heat is making me dizzy as she turns me every once in a while. I can hear the little pops and hisses when the oil she puts on me drops into the fire, and then the oil is mixing with fat from my body. The pain is getting intense, but in my fog, I wrap the pain around me like a cloak. It becomes part of me, who I am, just a pig to be enjoyed by my goddess. It's all fading now, but I smell the aroma of roasting meat. My skin has turned a deep golden brown under the coat of oil. I'm dimly aware that my goddess is slicing off parts of me, tasting me. She has my severed cock in her hand and her eyes are sparkling. My last thought is that my goddess likes me, and I'm happy to fade away.